You want to win, huh? You want to rise while the world spits on you, laughs at you, kicks your name around like garbage in the street? Be patient. Patience ain't some soft little whisper in a meditation room. No. Patience is war. Silent, slow-burning, dangerous war. You think strength is in noise and explosions? Nah. Real strength, it's in silence. It's in that quiet room where you sit with your pain and don't run. Or you sit with your anger and don't explode. Or you sit with your dreams and don't beg the world to believe in them. You just wait. Building, bleeding, alone but focused. They told you to wait your turn, didn't they? What they really meant was, wait until we're done destroying your confidence. You trusted that timeline. Thought maybe if you were good enough, kind enough, loud enough, they'd notice. You thought loyalty gets rewarded. Nah. Loyalty gets you used real quick. You give your best to people who barely give you their bare minimum, and then they blame you for not being enough. Irony, isn't it? You bleed yourself dry and they say, why aren't you more alive? Let me tell you a little story, kid. Imagine a lion in a cage, not roaring, not moving, just watching. Every fool that passes by thinks he's weak, broken. They throw rocks, they laugh. But that lion ain't dead. He's waiting. Calculating, healing. That silence, that stillness, that's a warning. But they're too busy talking to hear it. And one day that cage opens. And suddenly, everyone goes quiet. That's patience, not weakness. Preparation. You want it fast, don't you? Like they do. Chasing likes, chasing noise, chasing fake applause. The loud ones burn out quick. They get the spotlight just long enough to choke on it. But you ain't built for flashes. You're built for storms. You don't just want the throne. You want to rebuild the damn kingdom. That takes time, sacrifice, pain, and more silence than you can stand. But the more you shut up, the louder your future gets. They think patience is soft, that waiting means losing. Nah, patience is brutal. It's waking up every day in the same hell and choosing not to break. It's holding back when your name's being dragged, when your worth is being questioned. When your back's against the wall and the only thing louder than your heartbeat is your rage. And still you wait, with clenched fists and bleeding lips. But you wait, because deep down you know this pain isn't the end. It's the beginning of everything. Don't beg them to see you. They're blind, and comfort makes them lazy. They won't see until you become the very thing they tried to bury. You think they'll regret hurting you just 'cause you cried? Nah. Regret only comes when silence turns into success. When the ghost they tried to kill comes back, not to speak, not to explain, but to conquer. You ain't here to prove them wrong with words. You're here to destroy their illusion of who you were. Quietly. You keep asking when it'll change. When will it be your turn? That's the wrong question. Ask instead, will I still move even if it never comes?
See, most people are only patient because they think a reward is guaranteed, but you've got to be patient like nothing's promised, like nobody's coming. That's how you win. By not needing the wind to keep walking.
You want to heal? Then stop waiting for them to apologize. You want to grow? Then stop needing their support. You want to dominate? Then stop telling the world your every move. Stop sharing your plans with people who'd love nothing more than to see them fail.
Go darks. Stay cold. Stay distant.
Let them wonder. Let them make stories up. That's their problem. Yours is to rise without noise. Strike when it's too late for them to react. That's what patience does. It blindsides.
So yeah, be patient, but not soft. Be patient like a prison king, like a volcano before it erupts, like a ghost building a grave for every fake friend who called you too slow. They won't see you coming, and that's the point.
You see, people don't fear what they see coming. They fear what disappears, goes silent, and never explains. That's what makes patience deadly. It doesn't argue. It doesn't scream. It vanishes. And when it returns, it doesn't return to talk. It returns to end. You think the world owes you clarity, a reason, closure? Nah. The world owes you nothing. That silence you sit in? That's where you become something different. That's where the version of you they betrayed gets buried and something colder, smarter, and untouchable is born. But only if you endure. Only if you don't run from the slow days, the ignored messages, the fake smiles, the nights that stretch forever with no answers. That's the real test. Can you suffer without making noise? Can you get stabbed in the back and still walk straight? Not to prove them wrong, but because you don't even care about their opinions anymore. That's real strength, because you know something they don't. You know patience doesn't mean weakness. It means power delayed, not denied. You don't need revenge. You need results. Let your silence carry your legacy. Let your success scream where your voice no longer will. Stay patient, not for them, for you. Because everything you're building in silence will one day walk loud through the world. And when it does, don't look back. Don't explain where you went. Let the results answer for you.
Let the silence that once felt like suffering become the soundtrack of your victory.
Let them sit in the echo of what they let go. While you thrive in the very storm they tried to drown you in. You were patient. And that patience, it didn't just save you, it made you. You've been bleeding in the shadows for too long to stay soft. Let them under air. You've been bleeding in the shadows for too long to stay soft. Let them underestimate you. Let them misread your silence. Because when the clock runs out and you step back in the game, they won't know what hit them. They won't see it coming because they never cared to look deeper. They saw the version of you that bent, that begged, that stayed loyal when it made no damn sense. They thought that version was permanent. But patience doesn't preserve the soft, it forges the savage. They forgot that a person who learns how to wait also learns how to endure. And the one who endures becomes unstoppable. You think sitting in silence is easy? Try staying silent when your heart's in pieces. Try not reacting when you know the truth, but they're feeding the world a lie. Try not breaking when you've been forgotten by the very people you'd have burned for. That's not weakness. That's the strongest form of control you'll ever have. Because in that silence, you sharpen. You stop swinging wildly and start aiming with precision. You stop wasting your pain on people who were never worth your voice. You stop trying to teach loyalty to the disloyal or kindness to the cruel. And in that process, you become immune. Immune to their opinions. Immune to their manipulation. Immune to their absence. You realize your value doesn't rise and fall based on who stays or who leaves. It stays rooted in you. And the longer you wait in that cold, unforgiving space where no one claps for you, no one checks on you, no one understands you, the more you evolve into something they'll regret losing for the rest of their lives. Do you want to win? Then learn this. Reaction is currency. Every time you react to their games, they profit. Every time you respond to their silence with desperation, they gain power. Every time you fold just to keep peace, you lose your soul. But when you stop reacting, when you stop giving them the pleasure of your anger, your sadness, your explanations, that's when they panic. That's when they start to wonder what version of you is growing in the dark. Because now you're not talking, you're not complaining, you're just vanishing, and people fear what they can't track. They said be patient like it was some poetic virtue, but they didn't tell you how much it would hurt. They didn't tell you patience feels like dying slowly while pretending you're okay. They didn't mention the sleepless nights, the bitterness, the self-doubt, the crushing silence. But you've learned, haven't you? You've learned that patience is a blade, not in your hand, but in your spine. It's what keeps you upright when everything else tries to break you. And the ones who master it, they don't just return stronger, they return unrecognizable. So go ahead, let them move on. Let them replace you. Let them say you've changed. Stay silent, stay still, and smile. Because while they're out there trying to find distractions to hide from what they did to you, you're becoming something that doesn't need to be found. It needs to be feared. Not because you're violent, not because you're loud, but because you didn't need to prove anything anymore. You didn't need them to see you bleed. You just let them go.